catch us cruising in the drop.
This is the DagogetaTv where hip hop lives. I'm your guy, Deme D. This is another episode of If You Ask Me, Hip Hop Debate. That's where we talk that music and movie culture. And y'all already know, man, I live, breathe, eat, sleep this. I got two hip hop junkies with me, hip hop historians. Got my guy Watson back for another episode. Stroll, you know, you always in the building, holding me down. This is Mr. Everywhere Part 2. Brooklyn in the building. So I was looking forward to this one too, man, because I don't get to talk about this group often. There's not that many people who are really familiar with the catalog and the artists. You know, they may know one or two albums or definitely may know the prior albums. But salute to the Alkaholiks, man. They changed their name to the Licks. This consists of a three-man team. You know, you got the lead, all consider the lead, Tash or Catastrophe, J-Ro, and E Swift, the producer. Was he a DJ as well?
Just yeah, he was a DJ and producer.
So E Swift, they from the West Coast. I'm not sure what part. I don't remember what part they're from.
I don't know what part they're from either. Because of the West Coast.
They're not no Bay dudes. They're not no Los Angeles dudes and nothing like that.
I'm from New York, so when it comes to West Coast, I only know like two areas.
Listen. Well, yeah, the Alkaholiks, man, they got about, 5 albums. They got the debut album. 5 albums?
Yeah, 5 albums.
Okay, they got the debut album, 21 and Over. Then they got Liquidation.
Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast. They got XO Experience and Firewater. So we're just going to talk about, man, what's the best album, man? What's the best album and what you think about their catalog overall?
So, I'm a big Alkaholiks fan. Actually, they are my favorite West Coast group. They're my favorite West Coast group.
Nice too, right?
Okay, they're my favorite West Coast group, and the thing that people don't realize is that they're on Loud Records with Wu. So in '93, Wu used to open for the Alkaholiks. They were doing a promo tour. So when I was living in North Carolina going to school, I went to see the Wu and the Alkaholiks, and that's when they was performing 21 and Up album.
Okay.
And I got to kick it with them, kick it with the Wu, and they just ill. First of all, I'm a big J-Ro fan. J-Ro was my guy. You know, everybody, people don't talk about it like that, but I was J-Ro's verses. If it was a J-Ro verse, that's what I was playing. That's what I was listening to.
Okay, was he as good as Tash though?
He was my favorite. I liked him better than Tash. This is a personal opinion.
Was he as good though? Because
I thought so.
Okay. I don't think he was far behind. Like, I don't know why.
I thought Tash was better, but J-Ro was right under
right there. Right? I don't know why.
But yeah,
like that. But
no, absolutely. So they're my favorite West Coast group. You know, people get thrown off. They're like, oh, what about the Dog Pound? And nah,
the catalog is better than the Dog Pound.
It's the Alkaholiks. You know what I'm saying? Because they do the kind of hip hop that resonates with me. Ill beats, ill rhyming. You know what I'm saying? I relate to that. You know what I mean?
Gimmicks.
Straight gimmick.
No gang
well, people might think the whole drinking and with Alkaholiks, they think that might be the gimmick they were using, but I mess with them. So
I mean, it wasn't like it was throughout their whole career, but I guess they did reference a lot of drinking and shit.
Yeah.
The name is the Alkaholiks.
So when we talk 90s hip hop, to me, they go down with everybody. They're one of those groups that just don't get talked about, but they have to be acknowledged.
So you think that the debut is the best album?
No. So to me, their best album is their third
album.
Okay?
XO
it's their third album.
No, XO Experience is the fourth. No, Liquidation.
No, you want to jump out the window? You jumping out the window, bro. So to me, because you know I come from the cassette tape era.
Yeah,
so my favorite is the Liquidation album.
This is how we do it.
This album right here, the Liquidation album, is my favorite Alkaholiks album. And this album has everything. Now, if you're a New Yorker, this album talks to you. First of all, it has the greatest ODB verse.
A lot of dope features, a lot of good
stuff. It has ODB's greatest feature verse. That can't even be debated. He's actually rapping. He's not bugging out. He's rapping on Hip Hop Junkies.
Got Keith on there.
Keith Murray.
I wish they would have had Nas spit.
Keith Murray on there. Yeah, put Nas on the skit.
I wish
you got LLBJ on the skit.
That would have been dope.
You know what I'm saying? And then to me, they got one of my favorite banger posse cuts. They got Contents Under Pressure. That's a ill song, Contents Under Pressure. So Contents Under Pressure, the joint with ODB, and just to me, there's no fast forward material on this album. Like, this is one of those tapes, because I'm from the tape deck era. I take the tape out, you know what I'm saying, press play, and just let it rock out. And that's what Liquidation was for me. But this is my favorite album, but I have all the Alkaholiks albums, and I like them all, and they need to get their flowers, because they just seem to not be getting the flowers that they deserve.
And they introduced, who is it? What's the Lupac to everybody?
Lupac.
Was it Madlib? I can't remember the dude's name. I wasn't really into them like that, but Yeah, so they introduced them to the masses.
And Exhibit too. I believe they introduced
I think,
Exhibit.
was it?
Exhibits on this album too.
No,
I think he wasn't on a King T joint or some shit.
No, King T introduced the Alkaholiks.
King T brought them out too.
King T brought out the Alkaholiks, which shout out to him because King T is dope. But shout out to him for bringing them in there. But the first time I heard Exhibit was from the Licks. So I think the Licks put King T out.
Right.
But Liquidation, that's my second favorite.
Okay.
The first album, 21 and Over, that's all the albums lyrically to me was dope.
Right.
All the albums had dope production, but to me, something about the first album, just the beats on there, like even the whole like for you, fresh, like that song gets me every time.
Definitely captured the sound. Of the time.
Like the album to me, like I said, all of the albums, I love all the albums, but that first album to me, like beats wise, the whole drunk thing, like Only When I'm Drunk, those songs, like they resonated because that's what we used to do.
Use the beat before Hove and Foxy Brown did it.
Yeah.
Only When I'm Drunk.
Yeah.
Same production.
And it resonated because that's what we used to do. We used to get drunk before going out. But to me, it's just like it had a New York vibe to me, like the flavor, the beats, the flow. It reminded me because there's a few like West Coast groups that sound New York to me, and I think with that first album it does. And E Swift doesn't get the props he does for production because one of his most favorite beats to me is the Operation Lockdown beat. E Swift did that.
He don't even get no credit for that.
E Swift Operation Lockdown with Helter Skelter is insane, and that's E Swift did that beat. So he don't get the credit as one of the dope producers, but
he didn't place outside that happens with Have too a lot. He didn't place outside the group a lot, so maybe that's why. But he definitely official. Yeah,
he's definitely official. Like I said, 21 and Over is my favorite, but that don't negate all the other albums. The second one, Coast to Coast, they had a lot of dope. They have some dope features on there as well. Liquidation, dope features. Yeah.
I'm going XO, man. XO is the best album to me, man. I feel like the production is the best, and I feel like lyrically, I feel like Tash and J. Roll was at their peak on that shit. Like I get Liquidation is fire too, though. I think the production stepped up. I feel like every album, production kind of stepped up. I didn't hear the last one, Firewater. I didn't really hear no material from it, so I don't know. But yeah, I love the lyrics too, man.
But you see, this is what makes this so dope. We all mess with the licks and like the licks, and then we all have favorite albums. Yeah. So that just really goes to show you, because usually when you get an artist, everybody will have the same album. Oh no, our favorite Wu-Tang album is the Purple Tape. Everybody hit the same one. But with this, because they were dope, and I like every album we just talked about, but we all have a different one that hits us differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I'll agree with you on that because, and it's like that with like another artist that's like that too. For me, like lyrically, I agree with you. XO Experience, I think, might have been their best lyrical album. But as a complete, I prefer 21 Over. It's sort of like how I feel about DMX. I think lyrically, like his second album, to me, the lyrics I think were better than his first. But the beats on the first album, I just love better than DMX second album. I don't mean to bring him in, but I just use it as an example. But yeah, I do agree. Like the XO Experience, their lyrics on there was insane.
So if I was to tell anybody, if you're gonna get Liquidation, the first song I tell you to go to is a song called "You Are Now Rocking with the Best." They're using a sample of Mr. Funky Man from Laws of the Underground, and they are just getting busy. The beat is just a boom bap knocking beat, and then they all just get busy. It's like that's what I like about it. You said remember that New York vibe? You said it's like they was damn near doing boom bap, but just you know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing.
That song was boom bap to me. Yes.
Yeah, and that's why it resonated so much. You know what I'm saying? Because West Coast was heavy G-funk. And they was like, nah, that's not what we do. We don't do that at all. We are completely the opposite of that.
No gangbanging.
You know what I'm saying?
No gangbanging shit, no drug dealing. So
Word.
I really, especially at that time, those were kind of the rappers that I kind of like. You know what I mean? They weren't really drug dealers and, banging and shit like that. But, salute to the Licks, man. Hopefully one day we get you on the DagogetaTv, man. Give you a proper interview. Because I saw where y'all was at before and they ain't really asked y'all. They ain't talking about how like we talking. So make sure y'all subscribe, share, man. Hit that red button. This is If You Ask Me. I'm your guy, Deme D, and we out.